I thought it might be time to do a new video of the yard, and so I'm starting with this bird of paradise that's between the house and the garage. Recently I planted a crepe myrtle and it's doing very well. You also might notice down this line there are about 15 pineapple plants. More on the pineapples later. We're going to keep moving here. It's just about noon, so it's kind of a warm day. Just yesterday I planted this cranberry hibiscus and hope it does well there. Coming along here, this is a papaya tree that probably is about 8 months old. In this cage I've got a cacao chocolate plant. There's a avocado tree. Has never produced since I've been here, but I grafted a Hass avocado branch onto it, and that may start producing next year. The papaya are doing well. Got this little stand here of 6, maybe 7. I just started a new one here. Just planted it yesterday and I see it needs water, but I'll take care of that soon. This area is the citrus orchard. There's a lime, a lemon, that's an ulu, a breadfruit, not citrus. And then this is some various orange and tangerine plants in a row. Right in here, in this weedy looking patch, and there's one over there, are some seeds that I planted from a, well, think of it in a minute. You'll be impressed. I planted 5 seeds. 3 of them grew. I planted 3 plants, and pomegranate, that's what it is. So I've got 2 pomegranate plants. This ulu is one of the, is breadfruit. And I just planted that about 7 months ago, first of the year. So it'll produce a, what they call a boat crop that came over with the Polynesians when they landed in Hawaii. And it's provides for a lot of starch. It's like the potato of the South Pacific. This is a Malabar chestnut, one of 2 I've got. Here's just a mulch pile. Right down here, some hibiscus, and they keep getting eaten by bugs, but I'm doing the best I can with them. I just pruned them back a little bit to see if that'd help. This hill used to be looking a lot like the hill up there. This is Catharanthus in the red, and the yellow is Amarando, Alamando. Here I've got 3 kinds of ground. Well, I've only got 2. I planted a 3rd kind in the middle there, but this is one kind of ground cover, and that's another with other little blue flowers. There's a nice tree up there, which I planted with a nice family. And this is called Snow in Summer. I just trimmed it square yesterday. There's a big patch of some kind of lily. There's a row of ginger across the back. There's some lavender. Here's some cosmos. There's some heliconia planted in here as well, which is, this is one. There's one of the beehives. This is a double deep with a medium honey collector on the top. This is called African basil, and the bees do love it. And the basil was good too. You can always get some if you need some. This is the pride of, one of those South Pacific countries. It's called the Amherstia nobilis. And right now they don't have any flowers, but they have a red, big petaled flower that droops from the branches. Over here we have a stand of torch ginger. And I've cleaned out all the other stuff that was growing in there. I can see I got some deadheads to take out. There's a monarch fooling around with some of the milkweed. Here's a milkweed that was leafed just like the other one about 3 days ago, and then the caterpillars came and wiped it out, but it'll regenerate. I had some nice cucumbers growing and something ate all those, but I've got some beets and some carrots and some tomatoes, and down in the bottom tier there is a whole bunch of Okinawa sweet potatoes, which are purple in color, and they're very delicious. Here we have some pinka and some penta and some vinca. And I believe this is the vinca and this is the penta. Up there I have a little tray that's called a top feeder. Usually it goes on a hive, but I'm feeding 3 hives, so I just put it out in the open, and it only has water in it, but we sometimes get a week or so with no rain, and they need water. So we plant some. There's some heather. And here's another one of the Pride of Burma tree, or the Amherstia nobilis. We're coming up on my other 2 hives. They're just single deeps with the honey collector on top, and they're really happy. The other day we extracted 18 pints of honey from the frames, and over here you see the frames. We extract the honey in a centrifuge-like tank, and you decap the honey and then spin them in the centrifuge, and the honey comes out and collects in the bottom of the container. And then I put the frames back out with wax on them, that the bees come clean up what little is left, and you get about 70 to 80% of the honey out when you spin it. So the bees can take it back to the hive, and then the next time I go into hives and take more honey out, I'll put these frames back in, and the bees will already have a start on the wax comb. So it's a fun project. This is the area where I chip wood into small bits, and also have several containers that are making mulch, and basically I call it the dirt yard, and it's a nice shady place to work on a hot day. So I hope that comes across. This is a seemingly failing experiment. About a year and a half ago I planted asparagus there, and then you let it grow for 6 months or so, and then you cut it all back and you put mulch all over the top of it, and then in about 3 weeks asparagus starts coming up. You cut it and eat it, and then eventually it starts coming up spindly, and so you stop and you let it grow. And I think I cut it too early this time, because I got probably 6 servings of asparagus. The first time I did it, I rushed it this time, and it looks like a failed experiment. So I'm going to just let it all grow again and wait longer this time for the asparagus to grow. Here's a lilyqua bush. I'm not especially fond of lilyqua, so I don't hand pollinate the flowers to get the lilyqua to come. The papaya trees on this side, there's 4 of them, and they are non-GMO papayas, which I planted on request. Here's the wonderful macadamia nut tree, and I collect the nuts from it when they fall. See if we can find one here. Just mowed. Oh, here's one. So every morning I collect them, and at this time of year I collect about 50 each morning, and then I break this husk off with a pair of channel locks, the easiest tool. And so far I've collected 2,200 this year. Over here, I'm down, I had probably 20 pineapple plants over in this area. In this area I found they got too intrusive on the sidewalk, but these two are ready to bring in, and I will do that after I'm done with this video. There's another 2 down there, and I've got 4 more out in the front yard. This tree is bamboo with a blue jade growing in it. You probably can see some broadleaves growing out there, and when the stem of the blue jade gets to be 1.5 inches or so, it'll start to produce flowers, and then certain times of the year it'll just drip with all these big blue flowers. Very pretty. This I just planted. It'll be a tree probably 15 feet tall, about 10 feet wide, and it's called the Pau Kinikini, and has lots of big white flowers that smell very nice, which is always a nice feature. Over here, this is a black pepper plant. I visited a coffee farm a while back, and they had these growing, and about a dozen of them with the pepper seeds on it, and you get a pepper pod, and inside are the black peppercorns, and you can just eat them right out of the pod if you like a strong flavor, or you can put them in a pepper mill and have them that way. So I should have those sometime next year. This is another avocado tree, which was an experiment in grafting, and then a bigger tree fell down and knocked my graft off, so c'est la vie. More papaya. Here's a banana plant that produced 1 rack of bananas so far, and it's a red banana, and I don't know if you can see in the stems there's a reddish tone, and the bananas when they ripen turn a interesting shade of pinkish orange, I guess, but they're very tasty bananas. This is a big heliconia stand. That's lobster tail heliconia, and then the yellow ones up here are called dancing something, yellow dancers. Here's some more bananas, regular green bananas, I think 2 varieties. Right now it's got 4 racks. There's one up there, one over there, back in the bunch. There's one there that's just about ready to come down. And over there is another one. So lots of bananas this time of year. This big plant is called a traveler's palm. I don't know why it hasn't gone anywhere since I've been here, but I do keep cleaning it up. We're having a nice day. Nothing wrong with that. Down here, this is an avocado tree that hasn't produced since I've been here, and I have stressed it and fed it, and for the first time in 3 years, there's one avocado, and I don't know if you can see it hanging there just to the left of one of those cypress tree trunks, but I'm excited to see how they taste. Coming around this way, I just cut these podocarpus hedges were like 12 feet high and hard to trim and maintain, so I've cut them all down to about 6 feet, and the ones up by the garage I cut down to 4 feet, just because I'd rather see. Coffee is looking pretty good. It starts out green, like this area, starts getting yellow, and shortly there'll be lots and lots of red ones. There's one that's already started to turn red, but this is 17 coffee plants right here, close to the house. I have another 100 on the other side of this person's farm, you might say. This lemon tree produces enough lemons for everybody, so that's always nice. I planted some areca palms here. They will grow fairly fast. They're about 4 times as big as when I planted them a year ago, so they're doing well, and pretty soon I won't be able to see the animal pens and whatever's going on there. This is called a needle leaf plant, needle leaf tree, and it gets there's where some just fell off. It hasn't bloomed much for me, but that's okay. This is my Hass avocado tree, and it had overabundance of avocados, which just finished falling about a month ago, and the new ones are already starting, so I'm happy with that. Here's a plant that I just planted. I forget the name of it. Amy gave it to me for my birthday. Amy lives over in that house with her husband, Nick. My sister was here, and her husband, John, and Gloria planted these Yersinia. There's some of the other pineapple I told you about. They're about done. And some friends of John and Gloria planted these catharanthus, some white and some red, and then there's some catharanthus with the small flowers. So they're doing nicely. A little black bamboo to round out things. And here's the garage once again. So that's it for now from this part of paradise. Thanks for watching.